Huh. Recording in progress. We're making progress. Oh dear.
Reading. Thanks, Ma.
Not gonna go down.
Yep.
Jan, but
If I was the mayor, I would just get it leaked out to everyone. All right, I'll talk to you. Bye.
Okay.
ready?
Because it was loud. Do we have everybody on? Did she say she's on?
Yep, and Dan and Ron.
They're on.
Yep. You in the
I see
camera?
Jan.
We want to get you in the camera. There we go.
I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Naugatuck Housing Authority for 5:08 on Wednesday, July 14, 2021 at the George B. Lewis One Elderly Housing Complex, Community Room 71 Osborne Road, Naugatuck, Connecticut. Everybody has their masks on. Thank you very much. Those of us that can stand will have the Pledge of Allegiance. Behind me. Behind me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Will someone make a motion to approve the minutes for the June 9th, 2021 regular meeting?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes.
Okay,
Of
Maria
June
made a
9th.
motion. Somebody second it, please?
Second.
Helen? Okay. Chris, you ready with the executive
Yes.
director's report? You want to, we need to.
Oh, yes.
You can
Turn it.
turn it to you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. All the drawdowns of our federal funds for capital and operating dollars have been completed for the month of June 2021 for all of our federal complexes, which will be here in Lewis Circle. Move-ins, public housing properties, we had 5 move-ins and 3 move-outs in the month of June. Housing Choice Voucher Program, we had 5 new move-ins. We're currently, excuse me, we're currently up to number 40 on the new Housing Choice Voucher waiting list. Carbon monoxide detectors are now required in Section 8 apartments, Housing Choice Voucher apartments, with combustible fuel sources. So a notification was mailed to all the active landlords last month. George B. Lewis 1 and 2 complexes. Karen Tulipani, the GBL 1 resident service coordinator, has now returned to on-site this month in June. She's in her office in the community room each Tuesday. Rosalie has been coming in on Fridays since during most of COVID, so that'll continue, but Karen's just returning back. We hired a concrete cutting company to repair some concrete walkways down at Lee Drive. We did not have them proceed up here. We had them evaluate, but we are basically going to be replacing the sidewalks surrounding the street when we do the paving, which is estimated for fall. I met with our site engineer and our consultant at GBL 1 to finalize paving and sidewalk replacement specifications for paving. It's estimated we'll go out to bid next month for a fall completion. Robert E. Hug Congregate Complex, site renovations are ongoing there. Kitchen renovations are completed on the 3rd and 2nd floors with exception to back ordered lights and exhaust fans. Hallway air conditioning has been delayed due to back order of equipment. Sidewalk replacement began, completing sections at a time so that the residents have access to and from the building. And the window replacement is now complete. Siding replacement is also complete. New storefront window off the dining room installation is complete, and our maintenance department is painting the apartment doors on the second and third floors. The first floor doors were painted during the grant work. New appliances for the resident apartments are on back order, estimated to be received next month. Oak Terrace, pole light repairs have all been completed. Thank you to Jim Stewart and Fran Zambowski from the borough and their assistance in expediting the repairs with Eversource. New smoke detectors were received by Silent Watchman, the fire and coffer aid provider at Oak Terrace. And installation was scheduled for the week of July 6th through July 9th. So they're just about done. They did have a couple thunderstorms in between, so they had some control issues, but now they're pretty much done replacing all those devices. And Paul and I met with the fire department to make sure everything's up and running correctly. And they've done a full inspection on the detectors there. So they've got some, just some minor hardware they're replacing up there, but for the most part, they're pretty much updated over there.
Okay. Maintenance director's report, you're gonna do it?
Sure, I'll read it.
Well, yeah, okay,
Maintenance department report for June 2021. Unit renovated total, we had 4 completed this month, or till June, sorry. All sites were mowed 5 times during the month. All laundry rooms and common areas were cleaned daily at all sites. We completed 14 after all hours calls and completed 122 work orders. We're busy. Blade and Flamore cleaned the laundry rooms at Oak Terrace. Blade, Flamore, Paul, and Mark delivered monthly food bank delivery of boxes to NHA residents at Oak Terrace, Congregate, and GBL sites. Adam also helped out too with the last delivery. Mark completed painting handrails at Lewis Circle, the exterior handrails to and from the apartments. We, the maintenance staff assembled the new resident service coordinator desk at the Congregate site. They installed the screen door at the Congregate kitchen. They repaired the first floor restroom door, which wasn't lining up, it was warped. They moved the furniture back into the lounge, dining room, and RSC offices. We had to store them in pods while the flooring was done. They assembled a glider swing there that we had purchased, and they painted the tenant entry doors throughout the month of Congregate, second and third floors. Sprayed the weeds at the office, sprayed Lewis Circle buildings with roach preventative, repaired exterior water spigot at GBL2, building 9, installed water lines for the sink at the GBL2 community room kitchen remodel, which is almost complete. He was just waiting for, I believe, an exhaust fan and 1 piece of trim for the counter. So that kitchen is nearly complete. Mechanics report, brought the Equinox through emissions, charged the air conditioner in the 2006 Chevy, put headlight bulbs in the 2009 Chevy 1500, and I put used tailgate on a 2006 Chevy Silverado, sharpened blades and greased the lawnmowers, hung fire extinguisher, and installed exit signs at the Ida Street office. This was due to an OSHA inspection. Removed Oak Terrace shop grinder, label jack, inspected all the fire extinguishers, and installed safety data sheet binders at both garages per the OSHA inspection requirements.
Chris,
Yes.
I thought we were supposed to buy a new mower for weed driving.
Yes, we're waiting. We're Paul and I have reached out to some companies to get prices, so we're trying to get the best value we can because we need mowing equipment and trimmers and blowers. So we've got a compiled list, so we're trying to get the best we can.
Okay. So there's no police department here, no.
Yeah, we don't have a police department.
And they didn't send you anything?
No.
They didn't fax anything over, okay.
No.
Chris,
What?
Chris,
Yes.
Joan is trying to get in, Lori's trying to get her in. You have to let her in on your screen there.
Is she on her phone?
Oh, Joan is at her house. That may be her there.
Hello? Hi. You are muted. You can mute
Not sure what all that noise is, but
Yeah, I'm not sure. I see her.
Can you see me?
Phone or the computer?
Chris, mute the other people and let Joan in. That's all.
Thank you. Hi.
Yeah, she's in. Everyone's in. Let me try and merge with audio. Okay, I think she's in twice. Joan, can you
Can you
hear
hear
us?
me?
Yes, I hear you now.
Okay. For some reason, she's on Joan's iPhone and then she's also on another number.
Yeah, I was trying to get in on both of them.
Oh, yeah, she's trying to get it on both of them.
I hung up one. I hung up one.
Okay, I merged them now, so you should be okay.
Thank you. I
Alright.
just can't see you guys. Okay, sure.
I can see Joan.
Okay.
I can't see just myself.
Well, I'm going to disappear again too, Joan, but I'm glad you're here.
I dialed times. I don't know what happened.
I can
Okay.
Can you guys?
can't see
Can I-
us. Can you see me?
Yes.
No. No.
Well, now it went off. I just see myself in the corner. That's okay. As long as you hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I hear you.
Okay.
Let's see if I can turn the volume up too. Oh, it's all the way up. Okay. Are we gonna do, well, let me turn it towards you until you do public comment.
Hi, Joan, we're gonna go on.
Okay.
We're on number 6. There's no police department report because we don't have a policeman here with us today.
Okay.
Number 7 is old business. We have none. Number 8 is new business. We have none. So we will go on to 9, public comment, and please note that there's a 5-minute limit per speaker. Just say your unit number. That's all you have to say. All right. So does anybody have any questions? Please raise their hand. Lori?
I'm speaking, I'm Lori Jackson, I'm deputy mayor and also the liaison to the housing authority. At the last month's meeting, unfortunately, I was not here because I was at graduation. And after graduation, I had gotten a lot of phone calls saying that the meeting was out of control and that tenants were.
Lori needs to get closer to the microphone. 'Cause it's not
I know.
being
I can't hear
far away.
nothing.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Lori, we had an incident with one.
correct, but hold
One-
on, can I
one
speak?
resident-
It's my 5 minutes,
Okay,
okay? I want my 5 minutes.
okay.
There was an incident that happened and I was told that there was a lot of, it was out of control. There should have been managed well. You were not there. So you were okay. But when I looked at the minutes from this meeting, they should not be approved because some people that spoke at that meeting are not addressed in the public comment. So the person that had an issue, she is not here today. She should have been mentioned in the public comment. You don't mention names, but you all approve these minutes and they're not correct.
But we can't mention her name.
You don't mention anybody's name. You just say a resident had something to say. But when you record something, you have to write everybody that's there at the public comment. You
Well-
don't leave people out.
Okay.
And we
so
also
we
asked
can make
for-
a motion to add that.
But also, when you asked us now, all in favor of the motion of the minutes, you didn't get everybody to say yes. Were you going to approve the minutes? Was my mother going to approve the minutes? They're not correct. So how can you sign off on them when the minutes are not correct? And approve the minutes when all the people that spoke at public comment were not mentioned?
Well, I don't take the minutes, so I.
And
think-
also we asked if we could have a recording of the meeting, and I guess it's unavailable.
Well, it's not something I can email, but Jan suggested that I put it on YouTube. And I mean, I've never done that before,
Because
so.
we would like to see that because it was just uncalled for. You should have been in control of that meeting. And that's something that we hope never happens again because because when I get emails and phone calls after graduation, how bad that meeting was, that looks bad for everybody, and I think that was uncalled for, Terry.
Well, I'm sorry that the policeman wasn't here because he was attacked by that resident.
Well, then
At
he
the
should have
meeting.
controlled the meeting, and you should have said something. You should
I
have
did.
Put
I
your
did.
gavel down.
They
And
took her out. Marissa and Carmelita took her out because she was disrupting the meeting.
Correct, but that, whatever she says, everything has to be written for public comment.
You couldn't understand.
I'm sure if,
I listened to the recording multiple times. You could not understand.
It
what-
was, it was,
And she was speaking
No,
over
okay.
people.
when you
And
just say a tenant from Oak Terrace resident had some issues going on, you don't eliminate her. She spoke, she still needs to be mentioned in public,
right up to
in the public comment.
I-
Right up to the cap face.
Yeah, she was right in the
Right.
policeman's
So that's
face.
when it should have been under control. I mean, when you get emails and texts, that's really, that was an uncalled for meeting. I mean, you need to have control
Well,
of that.
this was, like I said, they took her out.
Mhm.
What else could we do?
Manage the meeting better, Terry. That's the name. Should have put the gavel down.
I
manage the
did.
meeting.
I did.
Well, that's not what the thing I got from.
Well,
Okay.
I put the gavel down and Marissa and Carmelita took her out. And they had her outside. Okay? In fact, when the meeting was over, she was still outside with them.
Okay, but can you correct that and revise the minutes? And I get an extra minute for
Sure,
interrupting me
we could
again.
do that.
So revise the minutes for the next one and saying that there was a resident that spoke, she had some concerns, leave it at that, because everybody needs to be mentioned in a public comment. You don't leave anybody out.
it was very difficult to
Well, I
even
think it was
capture.
difficult.
You
I get that.
expect somebody to take the
I get that.
microphones of her?
Totally get that. You still mentioned that there was another
Okay, well,
resident.
mention that there
But she was
was.
itself. That's all you gotta do is
No,
mention
we
that
should
there was
not, it
issues.
doesn't stop
She had some
here.
complaints, that was it.
But that rings.
I don't-
Yeah.
They should have took her out, the cop that was here, or else ended the meeting earlier, because we put the video ever doing it.
Right, correct, that's right. Next time, adjourn the meeting, take a 5-minute, intermission,
And
whatever,
then they took
and
her
then
out.
take it, right, but then it was just.
And
I'd like
that's
to get
not
a copy
something
of
the
that.
norm. It's not something we're used to all dealing with. So
Correct,
it's a
but
lesson learned.
Just so you know, if that can come back, just so, I'd like to get a
Okay.
copy of that as well.
We can,
Okay.
we can revise it and put it in there.
Okay. thank
Just don't go into detail.
Huh?
Of what,
No, we can't go into
no,
detail.
what was said, not said, I think all of us were taken by surprise,
Mhm.
not surprised. We didn't expect anything like that in the meeting. And I thought it was handled okay.
You need to turn that computer around so we can hear what you're saying now.
What do you think?
Oh, he can't hear what you're saying.
Sorry.
I don't know why.
Can't hear nothing.
By Marissa and Carmelita. So that was all we could do. Okay? All right. Old business, none?
Oh, no, we're still in public comment.
Oh, we're on public
Mhm.
comment, yeah. I'm already going back. Anybody else have a question here? No? Yes, just give your apartment number.
Might be cleaning up behind buildings 3 and 4.
Oh, yeah, he's coming back to clean up and grade it, take out the stumps and everything. My priority was to get the trees down, so he did that. And he's coming back to clean it all up and grade it.
Do we have a date when he's coming out?
He said probably next week. With all the rain, it's kind of holding him off from doing the site work, so he's hoping for better weather next week. Thank you.
Anybody else have a question?
My mom lives in 36. I noticed like there's on the front porches of a lot of
Can't hear her.
people, they have a lot
They
of
can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear her.
Why don't you come up to the front, Alicia? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Can't hear him.
I was just wondering if there was something that could be done for the tenants who have a lot of stuff piled up on their front porches, because I've been hearing where people are afraid to walk by their apartments at night because there's, the wildlife is hiding in
Mhm.
them and they're seeing, possums and skunks and stuff sneak,
Yeah.
hiding in there. And it's, that's kind of not safe.
Yeah,
So I was wondering if there's anything that can be,
yeah.
said to us.
Yeah, we could send around another notice. We've already asked, and typically when we see something, we'll do it notice.
Mhm.
A lot of tenants have excessive items in their apartment on the porches, and it's a battle. But we can try and take legal action, give them notice, and so we'll do another notice on that.
Okay. And then the other thing is, I did notice in the newsletter that just came out about, because now with marijuana being legal and all that stuff, you have this, there was a small little piece about if you smoke marijuana, it has to be, not in the apartment. There are people who are doing it, and I just think that you should have something a little bit more, like a bigger notice or something, go to everybody.
About no smoking in the
Yes.
apartments, yeah.
Yeah.
What does it smell like? I wouldn't know what it
Skunk.
smells like.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia.
Anybody else have any questions?
I don't have a question, but I have a concern. Recently, a few weeks ago, we had people using our laundry room that do not live here. They come from across the street and people, children of people who are living here are coming to use our laundry room.
People from Weed Drive came here and used this?
No, Ramble Brook.
How did they do that? How did they get in?
They walked across with their laundry baskets. I see them because of where I live.
Well, I don't know how we could control that.
Yeah, I'll have to call Ramblewood and let them know.
But also people are coming to use that don't live here.
Okay.
You mean families of people that live here?
They're not family members.
AIDS? Okay. And we did a notice before like that, saying that really AIDS.
Yeah, it was about 3 weeks ago. And Adam came in to kind of like clean the scent out because it was very smoky in their clothing.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll do another notice.
Anybody else have a question? Yes, Hattie?
I'm at 4N, and there's a that runs from where the water runs off at the.
Patty, can you come up? I don't think they can hear you. I'm sorry. With the mask on, it's hard to
Okay, all right.
just speak into the.
All right, I'm at 4N,
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the house where
building.
the water runs off. The pipe is starting to come up because it's eroding, and you can see the white pipe, running underground, but it's starting to come up. When they did the tree cutting, it kind of pushed it down, but now it's back up because of the water and everything. I'm concerned about that pipe coming up, and
And getting in the apartment. Okay.
yeah.
I'll have Adam check it out.
Well, I complained about it. Nobody did check it out. Adam was supposed to. Nothing was done.
Okay. Did you call in a work order?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I'll follow up on it and see what
Okay.
happens.
Thank you. Anybody else have a question? What apartment number?
Oak Terrace, public 24C,
Okay.
got two complaints. One is the only way that you can stop people from smoking the marijuana on their property, because the people that live next door to them, some people they can't stand the smell, all the marijuana and stuff. So it's the only way they can make a rule to go over to the park somewhere, away from, because there's a lot of seniors that live in Oak Terrace and they can't the smell. I can't stand the smell.
I know.
The smell and stuff.
That's a tough, if we were to do that, it would have to be all, as it is, smoking is supposed to be 25 feet from the buildings. So, but most residents don't do that. They'll smoke on their porches, etc.
Yeah,
But if we enforce it for one, we have to enforce it for both. Right now, we
yeah.
just say outside, so people aren't standing out in the rain, etc., things
Okay,
like
but
that.
if it's standing outside on their porch and smoking and stuff, and the person next door got their windows up and they
Right.
smoking it and they can't stand it, and and it goes into their one, and they
Right.
get high our stuff. Then the next day they got to go to the doctor, and they give them a drug test, and they high of something that they didn't do. Okay, the second one about people driving the car on the grass back to their apartment and leaving the vehicle parked there, sometime all night.
Well, if anyone tells us about it, we notify the resident. I know there was one last week and we sent the resident a notice.
Yesterday twice.
Yeah, so you need to let the office know, let Maritza know, and we will do a notice. I know there was one that was reported last week and the tenant was notified that it's not allowed.
Yeah, I know who the tenant was.
Okay. Yeah, so that was
They don't
addressed.
care.
They still do it
Yeah.
since then?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes?
Okay, Oak Terrace, I noticed a lot of people putting up glass on the front porch. And cosmetically, it's nice, but, they hide the apartment number.
They
It's
put what
the
on the
building,
porch?
Lattice, the lattice.
Oh, the ladder.
Yeah, right, so that, it's, you know, it's nice.
Yeah.
Cleans it up a little bit, but the thing is that it hides the number. I don't think they're aware of that. So if somebody has to get to that building and that apartment number, they may start on the opposite end, you know, for emergency or whatever have you. So the number that's on the building should be moved to the outside.
In other words, he's saying to put on the lattice on the outside of where the lattice is actually covering the number. Take it off the building and put it on the lattice.
Yeah, we can't do that. We can't take the building numbers off the building.
Well, we're not
You're talking
saying-
about the lattice on the out.
What I'm saying is that anybody that comes to, that's looking for a certain number, you can't see it, even though the lattice looks good, he's not complaining about it, neither am I. But we do have people saying, where is this number, where's that number? And it's because it's behind the lattice that they put up for a little privacy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it helps one thing, but it prevents the other.
Are you talking lattice in between the two porches or in front?
No, front.
In the front?
Probably the one.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because it shouldn't cover the whole front because that's obstructing the walkway. If a gurney has to be able to get in and out of an apartment.
No, it's 4 by 8.
Okay. And the apartment number is over the mailbox or right by the mailbox.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it's on the opposite side.
Oh. Well, I would suggest if somebody's gonna put lattice up, then they probably should put their own unit number so they're protected because basically they're the ones that are obstructing the view of the building, their unit number. So they should probably, you know, put something on their lattice because the lattice isn't permanent. We can't be moving building numbers there.
Informing you of a situation.
No, I understand. I appreciate it, George.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else have a question?
I do.
Hello?
Well, 9E, Oak Terrace. The other, just recently, you guys put out a newsletter. And at the bottom it said to remind people to put their dogs on the leash. Is that a joke or what?
It's not a joke. They put information on there that is applicable.
Yes, but what I'm trying to say is that make it to where, you know, I'm talking to you or this or that, because this young lady keeps doing the same thing every day of the week. This couple here they have a dog, and it's on a leash. It's been attacked twice by that dog and their
Well,
niece.
then what you should do is call the police. If another dog attacks,
Report with animal control, and ma'am, with all respect, you were there, you saw what happened.
yes.
And you left.
No, I addressed it. I did address it with her.
Your dog was off the leash the next day growling at us again, like she said it doesn't have teeth.
And what did animal control say?
Okay.
Animal control was going to come get it, but I didn't call her because I was trying to give her a chance to not have her dog put down.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. My sister is on the board in Bridgeport. She's at our apartment. And I more or less explain what's going on.
Ralph, is there any chance you can come closer? Because I'm not sure if the
I don't
public,
think they're hearing you, Ralph.
especially with the mask on, it's really hard.
So she said she had the same situation. They got all the complaints together, gave it to the dog warden, He looked it over, went to that person, gave that person a fine, and seized the dog for 90 days. And from what I understand, this one's been doing it for 9 years. 9 years. Come on, girls, enough is enough. You know?
Right. So that's animal controls.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have to call animal control, and she
I'm
said
just-
she
I
did
just-
call, right?
Then I will follow through on the report and I will have them come and confront her on it.
My sister said it has to come from one of you guys, make a complaint, let them come down, look at all the paperwork, and then he'll assess whatever. This guy went to that lady, gave her a fine, and seized the dog for 90 days.
And I believe that there's a leash law in Naugatuck, isn't there?
Yes.
This is state law, this is state law. Forget about Naugatuck, whatever, it's a state law.
So I would think
You're
even the
supposed to have the
police.
dog on a leash from the time you walk out the door to
Mhm.
the time you get in your car. When you get out your car, it's supposed to be on a leash, you know?
Correct. And that's where I indicated, everybody should just follow the rules, and we wouldn't have
But
the
young lady, it's the same
constant
thing every
arguing.
day. I have more than 12 pictures, if not more, with
Mm-hmm.
the same thing. And I send you one, I send her one, I send Mirza one,
Yes.
you know?
And we're doing our part, sending the notices that we need to, but we can't, we're limited. We're limited right now legally, what we could do.
Yeah, one of you guys gotta follow the dog with it and show them all the paperwork, and then let them take it from there, because that's proof. Just like I was told, stop taking pictures, but that's my proof of what's going on. I'm not saying.
No, the person who witnesses has to place the report with the dog warden.
No, it's not true.
Yeah, I mean, because they're gonna want an account of what happened.
If you have it in black and white in your office, so what are you telling me? That's not proof enough? If this has been going on, Chris, and you know it's been going on for a while. I'm going on 3 years.
Mhm.
And I just started with the complaint because I do not want to step in dog shit. I don't own one. You know, I'm not going to be nice about it. I'm going to get really nasty because the maintenance guys, Mert said them, untie their hands and let them find these people, and I'm just trying to live there and trying to get along with all the neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
But because of one individual, everybody's on pins and needles all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not right. It's not right at all. And could I ask what's going on with the grant? Do we have a grant? And if so, how can I get on the computer? Because last time I asked, you gave me every answer but the one I wanted.
I'm sorry, what's your question?
A grant, do we
No,
send it for?
we don't have any grants for Oak Terrace right now.
That's what I was asking. Okay.
Yeah, no.
And the parking situation, what's going on with that?
Well, we did devise a plan of where it could go, but now it's a matter of saving the money so that we can do so. Right now, as I indicated in my report, we're replacing smoke detectors, and that's a fire. So we did that.
He just walked
That was,
in.
but that was 38,000. Things aren't cheap, and that's because that's 194 apartments, new smoke detectors. So we have to, pay for the things that are critical. And we have to save up. That's a big ticket item, paving. You're talking hundreds of thousands. It's not.
Yeah.
So it's something we're going to work
Not
towards.
cheap.
I'll write on the check. How much is it for? All right, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
The mayor also said if he needs anything, he can call Haley, she'll help him.
Yeah, but not financially.
Well, yeah, because he was talking about, getting the town to help where it would cost that much as if you had got somebody from outside. So you should give a call, talk to him about it.
Oh, no, yeah, he referred us to the tree contractor that we used to use that charges twice as much as we used to do.
Well, if you said anything you need, just call him.
Yeah, and I have reached out, but the people that he gives me are more expensive. It's not an issue, Sue, where I can't, we just don't physically have that money right now. We just did all that grant work, and when we did, I can explain it to you.
Everybody's talking at once.
Hey, Chrissy,
Yes,
can I interject for a minute?
yes.
Can you give me an updated status on the painting of the parking spots and the stickers and all that stuff?
Well,
please?
there's the stickers are being issued right now. We sent out a questionnaire to each resident asking for their license plate, their vehicle, et cetera, their unit number. So we are now issuing parking stickers, 1 sticker per apartment. So we're getting a lot of feedback, and Maritza is sending out stickers now. So that's going to help us to police to make sure it's actually only our residents that are parking in there.
All right, and then on the parking spaces and whatnot, are you gonna reorganize signs?
Yeah, but
or
we're
paint,
not doing
or-
that. Yeah, we're not doing that yet because we did, put signs up for resident and visitor, but we're not painting the actual spaces yet. We're doing the sticker program first to see, what we have for feedback, and so we can, see how many cars are actually ours in the lots.
Okay, then can you give an updated status, like monthly, as to how that's going and whatnot?
Sure.
And
It just went out last month.
let's see how good that works, and we'll go for the big project later on down the road.
Yes.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else have any questions?
I do.
Wait, right here.
No,
Hello?
wait, I think.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, 34F Oak Terrace.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I don't have visual. I just want to thank you, Chrissy and Maritza, and everyone in the office and maintenance. You guys are doing a great job. I just had one question about the plumbing. Every 2 weeks or so, I mentioned it to Mark one time, actually 2 times, and I don't have a clog, but every once in a while, like every 2 or 3 weeks, it just makes gurgling sound. Is there anything I could do on my end? I don't have clogs, but it's like, it almost seems like it's going to back up.
It hasn't backed up at all yet?
No, but it sounds like it's like gurgling, like it's going to come out. So like it's enough noise to wake me up. I mentioned it to Mark, and he said the plumbing is a little strange, but it hasn't backed up, like overflowed, and I haven't had any clogs. I have a plunger.
Mm-hmm.
But is there anything I could do to keep it flowing on my end? I mean, it hasn't backed up, but is there anything I can do as
It could
a
just be
resident?
air. I mean, is it when you flush
Okay.
the toilet or run the water?
No, it's actually when I'm sleeping, I'll hear like gurgling, and I'm like, oh, that's weird, and I'll get up and go in the bathroom, and I hear like the toilet making noise, like it's gonna come out, but nothing happens. I haven't had any backups. I have, like I said, I have a plunger, and it's fine. But I was just wondering if there's anything I can put down as it's safe for the drains.
Yeah, I'll have Paul come and check it tomorrow, and
Okay.
and
Yeah.
flush the toilet a few times and check it out and make sure it's not the tank making the noises.
Yeah, and I want to thank you guys. I got an overwhelming response from residents, and my heart sings to see all the people helping other people here, and really being supportive during this time, and just planting the pretty flowers, and the maintenance guys keep this place like tip top shape, and they're very respectful.
Oh, thank
And I
you.
appreciate that.
Thank you. Paul's here.
No, I
so
mean
we
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean Paul gave me heads up because Gizmo's skittish for the smoke alarm, so he gave me like 5-minute warning. So I took Gizmo out. That meant a lot to me. He's always been respectful, but because Gizmo's ears are very sensitive, so I got to take her out before the alarms went off, and I appreciate that.
Okay,
But
thank you.
I see
Thank
the
you very
maintenance
much for the
respectful
next
to
time.
everybody.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
because Mark, thank you.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Hi,
Yeah.
I'm in 5H. I'd just like to say that I appreciate the fact that we can be here, the residents, I think it's great. However,
Yeah.
the reasons I've never come is because I'm extremely hard of hearing.
We can't hear a word the
I
woman is
basically
saying.
have heard
And you're,
Marilyn, do you mind coming up? They can't hear you on the computer. I'm sorry.
And she can't.
Yeah. There's residents that are listening, but the speaker doesn't really pick up.
I live in 5H and I'm very, very hard of hearing, even with age. And one of the reasons I haven't come to the meetings in the past is I assumed that I would not be able to hear. And that's what is going on today for me. And I did hear a few whisperings back in the back of the room that they couldn't hear either. And I know now with the coronavirus and the masks, it's even more difficult. And I wondered if it would be possible for us to have a little inexpensive microphone maybe that we could pass around so that everybody could hear what's going on. Because truthfully, I don't think that I'm the only one that has this issue. I know mine is severe, but there's others too that are struggling. So I'm just asking if that would be an option. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody? Any other questions? Yes, sir. We can't hear you. You're gonna have to come up here.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's the mask and
I just
everything.
wanted to put it on record and compliment to everything that Paul does for the places, because not for nothing, but I feel like he's the most trustworthy out of the guys and has a better rapport with most of the people. I think that I don't speak for just myself when I say that. I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for the compliment. Thank you, Paul.
Any other questions? All right, we'll go on to commissioners' comments. Anybody in the commissioners?
Yes.
Comment? Joan?
I have, yes, I came in late here. I wasn't able to get on. It wasn't me. I was on, but you had trouble. I wanted to say about the meeting last month. I know it was hard to hear, but that woman was screaming and hollering, and you told me that she was having a meltdown, and that should have been reported. That should have been on record. So I'm telling you, that's the truth. And if anybody had approved the minutes, they were wrong. You have to revise them, because that should have been in writing on the record. I know Carmela, she was in charge, and I don't know if she realized she had to put that down. Well, anyway, I have questions because I was not here when you started the meeting. I have a question for Chrissy.
Yes.
First of all, under GBL 1 and GBL 2, you said that you're gonna do paving there and you had to go and get the specs. Well, this is
GBL, just GBL 1 right now.
well, you had GBL 2 last month.
Yeah,
on the
we were trying to do both, but right now we can only get the engineer on one right now. So we're prioritizing this one because this one has the worst sidewalks and we have a lot of divots in the paving. So we've got to do one at a time.
You have the money, don't you?
Yes,
For-
yes, but it's a matter of getting the engineers and everything together to do it. And Steve said there's really not enough time to do both. I did ask him if we possibly could, but right now we want to get Osborne out to bid first and then work on the plans for weed, because they have to, the site engineers have to look at drainage and everything.
Well, to me, it would make more sense if you did both of them. It'd be cheaper in the long run, but I don't know, because you had it last month, but I said, this has been going April, you had it in your report. And I said, gee,
Yeah.
didn't think it takes that long, so many months, and you're spending the paper when you go
Yeah,
out for
because
bid.
we're trying to increase the parking up here. So we had to reach out to zoning and everything to ensure that we had the right boundary lines and everything. So that's where we're in, the retaining wall issue. So we actually just had to do measurements for the retaining wall yesterday. So they're getting the finalized documentation ready for that. If we keep waiting, because, we have to allow 3 weeks to bid, it's gonna be winter before we'll be able to get them done. So we gotta at least get this one done. And then maybe
Okay.
spring we can do weed drive.
All right, the other question I have is, I noticed when I was going through the reports here, a lot of people are complaining about air conditions. And you had 1/3 of the after hour calls were to check their air conditions. But didn't we have a policy at one time where they came in and they checked the air conditions once a year or something? And the people need their air conditions now. It's summertime.
Yeah. Well, we really have only had less than a handful of air conditioners down. The majority of the problem is operator error. They have a hard time with the remote, and the unit's up in the top of the room, so they can't, hit the button. So a lot of them either their remotes run out of batteries and they can't see it. So the guys will bring batteries around. We tell people to have batteries, AA batteries on hand for that. And also they have to select the right mode. So some people switch it from heat to cool, and then they're wondering why, or cool to heat.
Maybe new people that move in, maybe you should give them a little
Well, they do it.
talk.
Yeah,
through
they
it
get a
because-
little pamphlet, they get a little handout about it, but not everybody understands them.
They don't.
It's-
You know what,
it's a lot
because
of
I want to say that, you know, 1/3 of the after hour calls were for air conditioning. We're spending a lot of money on the overtime.
Mhm.
I mean, that's crazy. And if they do it, I mean, somehow you should have a program that you should check those things. You know, maintenance can do it or something. Now, the
Yeah,
last,
we check, we clean the filters and everything. We do all that ourselves. But as far as these people call and they're like, I don't know how to, I thought I turned it on, it's not working. So I try and walk them through it over the phone, but some people say, I can't see it. I can't see it. And sometimes if they need batteries, but are you gonna tell you know, a 9-year-old person that, well, you gotta go out and get batteries, you know, and then your remote will work if they don't have any means to go out anywhere. So typically the guys will go over, put batteries in it. Or if it's a matter of them just pushing the wrong button. So we
Okay,
try and
that-
educate everybody when they move in, but then a lot of times it's very elderly people, so the aides are trying to do it and they don't understand it.
I don't know. Now, the last thing I wanted to say is, I noticed too that a lot of people are having problems with mice and ants and all that. And I said before, if there's a building that's infested, we should get exterminators. You're going to spend a little bit more money, but you're spending all these. You give them traps, you give them whatever is. But I noticed that it's you know, a lot of problems with the mice and stuff.
I did reach out to EnviroCare, but I only got one price. I'm trying to get contracts for pest treatment around the buildings, especially here on the 2 federal sites in Lewis Circle, where we've got a lot more entry points. Lewis Circle has the basement, and GBL, we seem to have some gaps down there that we get mice in from the field. So I'm trying to get treatments for that, where it'll be bi-monthly, and it'll cover winter mice for the winter and insects in the summer.
Okay.
So, but I've only gotten them from one company, so I'll you know, benchmark that. I'm trying to establish something with the other company. So I am working on it behind the scenes, but I haven't announced anything yet because I haven't been able to reach out to get a couple other companies to look into it.
I know you said we talked about the parking situation. I did call Tim, our accountant, and he said to get a ballpark figure what it would cost. And I don't know what a ballpark figure is. I mean, how much it's going to cost for that parking. I mean, we're not doing we're just doing a couple areas behind certain buildings, right? Up at Oak Terrace.
We're doing one large area in the meadow behind building 15, 16, 17, that area. Because the excavation involved in drainage moving, it makes more sense to put one large area instead of multiple little areas, because you have to move drainage and everything, and the cost would be astronomical. So we're going to focus on that one area and another area in front of building 14. That
I mean, that would alleviate all those problems up there with that parking
yeah, but you're
situation.
still looking at close to 300,000.
Oh, I didn't think it would be that much.
Oh yeah,
because it's going to help,
removal.
isn't the town do that, tar it and stuff? They do the streets and everything. I don't see why they couldn't help out. The mayor said that probably they could do that, help out.
He volunteered to put us in touch with any contractors that would give us better prices, such as Free Guys. Or he said we could use any of the contractors that the town uses to try and get a better price, but they didn't offer the town services.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I heard different. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Okay.
that was not extended to me, so I can reach out to the mayor if someone's heard that, but he hasn't extended that offer to me.
Okay. I'm gonna check that out because I did talk to Tim and I asked him about money. And he says, well, see what the ballpark figure is. And, you know, maybe somehow we could get a grant or something for that or whatever. Because those people, they're hurting. I mean, up there, they're fighting all the time about parking. I don't think people should have to do that.
Right.
But you've got to worry about a parking. You come home, you can't even to get your grocery door because somebody's taking your place, right? Somebody has a parking place there for 10 years. I know you say there's no assigned parking, but I think that has to stop. I mean, somehow we have to alleviate that problem. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Joan.
Okay.
Any other commissioners have anything?
No.
Sue, you okay? All right. Will someone make a motion that we adjourn the meeting at, what is it, 5:58?
Make a motion
Or
to
6
adjourn the
o'clock,
meeting
or
at
5 o'clock?
5:58.
No, second it.
Who did?
I'll second it.
Helen did, and Maria.
Oh.
Huh? Okay. They did it. Helen did it. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Sue. Feel at work. Yeah. We try to do what we can. They call and let
Yeah.
them-
For me, this meeting is like a one-to-one, in the computer. We couldn't hear hardly nothing kept up. I think if we get a microphone, microphone going to talk and a speaker for the computer, so we will not for this anymore. Because it's not. That's how I got.
No. Did somebody report it to the office?
Go ahead and talk.
I know.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, Cheryl.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. I know it's a hot day. I think this was Chris's, not mine.
That was Chris's, I think.
Yes.
I wonder how many.
All right.
Is he gonna call before you dig or no?
Yeah.
I might have
Maria. My bag for the water.
Oh, I left my water at home.
He did walk down there.
In my office.
Carrie, I'm gonna use the ladies' room. Okay. I'll wait for you.
You'll
Walk
wait
back
for
up.
you.
We have to walk back up.
Okay.
We don't have to worry about.
Excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry.
Does he have anyone helping him?
Chris, you want to shut this off?
You could even ask Adam about it.
What? You're right?
Yep.
Okay.
Just take care of another